Buenas tardes, welcome to my channel Better Monday Fasting. In this video I'll be talking about building the new you through fasting. Before getting started, I want to make it clear that nothing I share in this video or on the channel it's medical advice, so please do your own research before making any health related decisions. So building the new you through fasting, yeah, it might sound like I don't know, it might sound a little like I don't want to say pretentious, but it might sound like a little like a big promise, you know. But with fasting, what I developed through my fasting adventure, it's the way I look at it to keep myself motivated and to enjoy the progress I'm making. So one way I look at it is like I see it as a journey where we're always like discovering new places. We're passing new frontiers. So like that's a way to look at it, like to stay motivated. Like so what's next? What's next? You know, that's one way to look at it. Another way I like to look at fasting is I see it as an investment. Like each day, each hour I'm fasting, I see it as an investment, and eventually I will get a return on this investment with better health, better memory, better physical health, and better focus, better enjoyment when I'm working, better enjoyment overall, like in life, better sexual life, better enjoying little things even more, you know, like to read a book, like sit on a porch, like things that don't cost anything, but you know, if we are in peace, it can give a great amount of pleasure. And so that's another way of looking at it, like as an investment. And the one I want to share today, it's like I see it more like a construction, like deconstruction and construction. That's also a way I like to look at fasting in the bigger scope of things. And here we have some kitties, and so like the way I with the years, like what I notice is just like with fasting, it's like buying maybe you buy land and it already has like maybe a crappy like house on it, and you start by demolishing the house, then digging a hole, putting like new foundations, and then you build, you know, something new. I look at it a little bit like that, like, you know, at fasting. It's you know, when I started fasting, I was having all these like problems, and little by little, we're solving the problems, and by solving the problems, we're doing better. We're making progress, and the progress we're making allows us to do more in life, and that indirectly makes us helps us make progress. So everything is like, you know, when you look back, you're like, wow, you know, you remember the day you started, and then where you're at, you're like, wow, I come a long way. And so like that's also a way I really like to look at it, especially like in the long term fasting, like, you know, when you start like fasting for several years, because yeah, I mean, I'm a completely, yeah, I don't want to say a different person. I'm the same guy, but it's just like everything is at a different level, you know. Everything is like the enjoyment I get out of life, the things I can do, the level of confidence. Yeah, it's just amazing, and often the journey starts with if you follow you bought like a land analogy, but maybe you got that old house, you have to break the walls or clean it, or the initial stages, it's not like you've constructed your new house and you're in the jacuzzi enjoying it, so with fasting it's a little bit the same. I mean, there are a lot of like steps, and first, we have to first measure, our toxicity levels, our adaptation capacity, then start fasting, and then at each fasting cycle, we're going to come up with a strategy and see how it goes, and depending on the results we are getting, the feedback we're getting from the body, then we're gonna design the next fasting session, and little by little, like, we advance like that. So it's always situational, and it's always like a step-by-step process. But then eventually, you look back and you see what you've already accomplished, because it's a multidimensional. I mean, not only you're going to be making progress, but the progress you're making is going to allow you to do more, and by doing more, you'll be doing even more. I mean, it's a virtuous dynamic. So yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, I mean, all of this might sound a little abstract, if you haven't started your fasting journey. But as soon as you start, it's going to make sense, and more than anything, like, what is going to bring to you is like it's going to keep you motivated, like all these like point of views, like how we view fasting, it's a little bit like when you have a business, you have the day-to-day operations and everything, but once in a while you like to look at the bottom line and how much you were able to reinvest, how much you were able to make profit and all that. And if things are going good, it motivates you. You're like, wow, like, I'm doing something right here and I'm on the right path. So then you design your strategy for the next quarter or the next year. So it's a little bit like that. Like, we have to, with fasting, adopt like those point of views that are more like long-term or mid-term outlook at fasting, to keep us motivated and assess our progress. Because otherwise, if you're in the mentality that you're looking at your watch and it has been only, like, it has been 10 minutes I've been fasting and nothing happened, I mean, that's going to be very difficult, if you're always impatient and you're just waiting for the results and they don't come, so you have to have that those I mean, you don't have to, but if you have those like visions of looking at fasting in a certain way, it makes it motivating, and also it makes it really fun. It's like it makes it fun. It makes you creative, because once you start understanding the dynamics, you're like, well, I could do that. I could do this pattern. I could rest from fasting this way, and with the time I'm saving with fasting, I can start this project. For example, like, that could be a good thing. For example, like, maybe you always wanted to write a book or do some painting, or you have like this project that is sitting like in the back burner, So you start your first fasting cycles, and then maybe you will start getting into patterns where, you're skipping, a meal or 2 meals, or sometimes altogether, like you're even skipping your OMAD. And then that's going to liberate time, then you can connect that with the projects you always wanted to do. I mean, that might not happen on the first cycles, because in the first cycles you might struggle with all the symptoms, but once you have some cycles under your belt and you're comfortable with fasting, then you're like, on the days I'm fasting, I'm gonna write a chapter or two, of my book or something like that, and that's gonna be very motivating, because you'll be, not only you will get the benefits of fasting, but then you'll connect to something you always wanted to do and you couldn't do because of time, and now you have the time, and so that's also going to be very virtuous, because fasting is going to liberate time. With that time, you're going to live your passion, and as that passion is going to grow, it's going to make you a happier person, so on. So it's very positive, and that's like how you catch the life by the hair. It's like a wrestler. Like sometimes you catch you see the opening, and now you have life. You have you have an edge over life, over because overall it's madness. I mean, this life they're imposing on us, the 9 to 5, eat, and then pay, and it's like tax for that, tax for this, and and when are we gonna do what we're supposed to do? So it's already very difficult, but it's also difficult to get out of it. But with fasting, you can create, like you can buy time, and it's quality time. I mean, once you again, I'm not talking about your first fasting session, but once you get a little bit of experience with fasting, it's going to be not only it's going to give you time to do the things you love, but you're going to have better mental clarity, and so I just wanted to share this point of view that you can adopt when fasting. It's just see your fasting as a project, a big project. It's like you're building your dream house with with land and agriculture and all that. You're starting from scratch. Like you're even taking something that has the land you bought even had like problems, so maybe you need to clean the soil, like things like that. So that's your starting point, and you're going to turn it into your dream property with your dream house and dream farming and sustainable environment. So it's a way to look at it, and it's like a long-term vision. It's a long-term way of looking at it, and I use all of them. I use the investment, the journey, like the building, the builder like mentality. I use all of them. I mean, whatever works, because at the end of the day, like every hour that you're fasting, it's like putting money in the bank. I never regretted a fasting session. Like I never ever regretted a fasting session. So, and I believe that with more fasting, better humans, better society, and that's why I really want to spread the word of fasting. It's not easy, but the return on investment is great. Like I enjoy my life so much more since I have started fasting. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you in another video on the channel. Thanks.